Fire is a natural part of any forest grassland ecosystem. And what we see in all parts of nature is a certain frequency of fire coming to replace the landscape, replace what we call a tree stand, for example. And these fires occur at different intervals through history and has for eons. In the past 100 years, with man's ability to put fires out, we've put a lot of fires out, or most fires out, for 50 to 75 years and allowed brush to build up and undergrowth to become excessive. So fuel loads are super high. In that scenario, when a fire happens, the fires tend to be more devastating.
The events of June 17th, I was at work and noticed fire, or smoke I should say, coming in the Upper Canyon area. Kind of watched it all morning. About 2 o'clock I decided to go home because it started growing pretty rapidly. I could tell that the fire was moving our direction towards our house.
I remember seeing the fire pop up that morning, and it was just a little bitty fire, just something that we'd normally see. And I watched it grow that day from something that seemed like they could put out fairly easily, not a lot of wind, to like this apocalyptic cloud just in the sky. And
I started, packing stuff up, not a whole lot of stuff, some clothes and items out of the safe and that kind of thing. Got a call from a coworker who lived just down the street, and she told me that the police were there telling her that we needed to evacuate the area. Fire department was driving up the street telling everyone to get out.
I had gone to the hospital, and another fire had popped up over on that end of the town, towards the casino area. And so when I was at the hospital, I could see a fire on one side of the hospital and on the other.
I didn't think this was going to happen. We had a close call before this time when Phil came home, and he said, "Jill, it looks like something's going to happen. You really need to start packing up." And I was like, "No, it's not going to happen. This is another false alarm."
My parents, they didn't think it was going to touch their house, and I was on the phone with them. They're like, "No, like it's not going to come this way." And I could see when we were coming down that Swiss Chalet Hill, and it's just raining embers, and I'm like, "No, it's going to be on top of you." And I remember telling my daughter, if they're not leaving, we're gonna have to go rescue them. And I would have taken my daughter straight up into that fire. Luckily, they were leaving right then, and they met us over at the house. And just trying to rally and make sure my sister was leaving from the hospital, make sure that all of our family was together.
The next day, my neighbor called, and she said, because I didn't know about our house, and she said, "Jill, it's gone." And I was like, "What do you mean it's gone, Karen?" And she said, "The only thing standing is your fireplace." We had this big, huge brick fireplace. And I was angry. I didn't mean to be angry with her. And I was like, "Karen, I gotta go. I'm gonna get sick." Well, then we had to get a place to rent. But what's so strange is when we got here and I'm making dinner, and I didn't have a salt and pepper shaker. I didn't have pots and pans.
I bought a bottle of wine and didn't have any way to open it.
No.
We lost a daughter to cancer, and she had taken a pottery class, and she made some items, and one of the treasures that Jill had was a vase that she had made. And Group Samaritan's Purse helped us sift through some of the ashes, and they found that intact.
Everything else destroyed, shattered, dishes gone, everything. But they got that vase. There's a God, and He's holding us through this, and that was our Sarah, and God saying, "Okay, it's gonna be okay, Mom and Dad."
That love that people gave each other, that was so healing and so reassuring that we could rebuild, and our community is strong and we're stronger together.
The Community Foundation of Lincoln County has helped us immensely, not to mention all the jokes that come your way too. My boss is always kidding me when I show up to work. He says, "Hey Phil, is that a new shirt?" I'm like, "Well, I've had it 3 months now."
Yeah, when you have to go buy all new clothes, and Bob does that to Phil. Is that a new shirt? Yes, it's new. Don't have anything.
The house that we lost, it was everything we ever wanted, and we made it what a home. Between settling insurance and dealing with the FEMA and disaster stuff and getting a SBA loan to help with all of that, we've been able to start rebuilding. It's been less than a year. So to put together the plans and start building and to be where we're at in that short a time, I feel lucky that we are where we're at. We are getting the house of our dreams, or a new house of our dreams, where we can have family dinners and birthday parties and all of that.
We always said when we first got married, oh, that'd be so cool to build our dream home. Just didn't think in our 60s that would be, but that's okay.
There's always hope in nature. First of all, nature is built for these types of events. There's always rejuvenation, and fire is the nature's way of rejuvenating the forest, putting nutrients back into the soil, and recycling. It takes time, and the hard thing for man to accept is that time frame is not on our time frame. We see a forest burned like this, and it will not ever be the same in my lifetime, but it will be a beautiful forest again in my granddaughter's lifetime.